after a couple months, he called me and told me that they were gonna try it out and that they didn't need my help for this one, but if they were gonna do it for real, they would call me. And then after their first attempt failed, he called me up for his second attempt to just get some help in trying it out.
And I felt like I saw it in his eyes that he would do this. He had to do this before he died. I mean, if he didn't, then there's no point to his life. And it kind of showed through his excitement during the days that we were testing and leading up to his big accomplishment. And it kind of showed that he was on the wild side, I would say, actually. He would do crazy things. The big tire roll, it wasn't so much dangerous as it was he had to overcome his doubts, and we did too, because we kind of doubted him at first. And what made you become interested in his roll down this huge hill?
Well, I mean, he asked for my help, and just his obsession with his tires. Kind of wanted to watch it out.
At the end of the second day, we done a couple test runs. One of them, the tire had crashed into a tree. One of them had gone really well, had gone all the way down, and we rolled it from a different spot. That one also went all the way down, so we were pretty confident about the spot we had chosen for Eric. And then we saw that a parks guide showed up. He was cleaning the area near us, but we didn't want him to get to the tire. So we took it and rolled it around this wall and kind of threw it in a bush. And then we came back the next day to come and get it.
Okay, so how did this whole experience make you feel?
This whole experience made me feel good, that it was all able to come together.
I mean, it turned out for the best, and I mean, he had a great time, and helping him was a blast, but some parts were hard. The tire in the creek was a big setback, but we just kept on, and it turned out really good.
I mean, after that first test run where I went down the more steep hill, but the smaller one, that kind of helped calm down my nerves because I knew how it would feel going down.
Okay, so we're about to go up. You feeling nervous?
I'm less nervous than I was to do that one, just because I know how it is now.
Was the test run helpful?
Yeah, it was helpful.
How dizzy are you?
I don't know, I'm just most nervous that I'm not going to stop and I'm going to like hit some car or something like that.
Something down there.
How dizzy are you?
Well,
I wasn't that dizzy. I was just like, I kind of felt like I was going to puke at the end, but I doubt I will.
We were also pretty nervous that he might not stop, run over a couple little softball girls, or maybe just hit a car. It was pretty nervous.
How did this whole experience make you feel? Did it change you? Was it a breakthrough?
It definitely was a breakthrough. I mean, it felt great once it all came together.
This is right before the roll down.
It's tilting. Is that bad?
We got Eric in the tire, and we got all that ways to go.
How'd you feel in the tire?
It was pretty nerve-wracking. Some of the, when I hit the cement, that definitely hurt a bit. There was some, my head would knock against the back of the tire, and then my back would hit it, and then my sweatshirt was, riding up, and my back was hitting the tire. When we went up to the top of the hill to take some pictures, I mean, it was breathtaking, but scared me at the same time. I mean, I didn't tell him I was scared for him, but
I just kept it to myself.
It was pretty fun to watch. Like, there were parts where I was pretty nervous. Like, at the start, his tire kept tilting a little, so I felt like he was gonna run right into a tree. And then he started to level out, but there was one point where he was like heading dead on at a tree. And then he almost took out the tripod at one point.
The only time I was nervous was when the tire started heading towards the tripod and Hayden. But other than that, no, he looked like he had it under control.
Yeah, I just kept thinking to myself, you know, if I die, this is going to be the most beautiful death a man could imagine. This is going to be just a great death. It would just feel so good to go up to heaven like that. It was actually a pretty fun experience, and I'm ready to conquer new things.
I mean, his life was on the line, and that was worse than any imprisonment or jail time or fines or anything.
He got out safely. It was pretty entertaining.
It definitely made all the struggling that we went through worth it.
It was brutal, but just a few sore spots. That's about it.
It kind of felt bigger than life, you know, rolling down a tire on a huge hill. I mean, what more is there to life than that?
Oh, I thought he was gonna hit a tree most of the time. I mean, as much as I told him that I thought he'd do it, I was kind of thinking he was gonna hit it.
And Eric was successful in his dream. That was a really good feeling for him, I'm sure.
I was just nervous that I either would not stop, or I would hit a tree, or it would just not go right, and I'd like take a turn to somewhere that we did not expect.
The few seconds that he was in that tire and rolling, I can't even express how happy I was for him and probably how happy he was.
It was pretty fun to watch that it was actually over, and like, pretty fun. I mean, the whole thing was fun.
The best moment was when Eric successfully got out and was able to walk out of that with no injuries.
I couldn't even really think when I was going down. I mean, I closed my eyes for about half of it, but I just wasn't thinking about like, oh, it's not gonna work. I was just thinking, it's going to work. It has to happen. I'm gonna do this. What do you feel was the best moment of this whole experience?
I think it's gotta be getting rid of the tire at the end.
When Eric got out safely and we were able to throw the tire into the creek, I just felt like all the tire gave us, it deserved something.
It was great. It was a moment of, I was in awe. It was just amazing to finally conquer that one hill I've always been dreaming of.